Hello guys and welcome to my new channel where we're gonna try to fix phones and tablets and computers and any other software and hardware errors, anything really what is possible to done, practically cheaper I suppose, and it's not really hard to do yourself. So today I wish to start with this iPhone 4S, which is my friend's. Can you see? I suppose it's a bit shattered over here on the front area, which is display assembly, a little bit here next to the speaker, and a little bit here over here in the corner, and from the back there's quite damage done in here. Anyway, this is my friend's phone. I normally do customers' phones as well, but this one is my friend's, so for this one I am going to use this iPhone 4S assembly, which is not new. There is some, I think you can see right here and here, there is some signs of wear, but it's perfectly okay and it's a working assembly, everything is fine. And it is of knowledge of my friend that she gave me consent of use this screen so she can, it's been just lying here around. I actually extracted it from another phone and she said I can go ahead and use it. So the tools we're gonna need are Phillips head screwdriver, then we're going to use this one, Torx, is it Torx? You know, this star screwdriver for the bottom screws of here, and the flathead screwdriver of course. Plastic pry tool, this one is quite ordinary, comes with most of the phones or parts. If you order them you're just gonna get it in that. And we can use this one, which is sort of more of a professional pry tool. It's called Isesamo. Isesamo, it's right here. Isesamo, where does it say? Isesamo, yeah, it's actually here. If it's gonna focus. Well, I'm sorry, my camera has a little bit problems to focus sometimes. Anyway, I hope you guys are okay with seeing these, and without any further ado, let's just proceed. Go ahead. We start of course with undoing these two screws right here, these two, and because I already have gone ahead and undo them, they are actually here. I have them right here. Yeah, so I undo that. Then once you have that, because this one is so damaged, I have had a look in it, that's why. Then we're just gonna take this back cover and slide it a little bit like this. You see, we just slide it like this, and then we can just go ahead and just take it off. This one has damage, as I mentioned before. Yeah, this one is quite hardly damaged. Anyway, we're not gonna need this one. I'm not gonna put it just now back because I don't really have no back just yet. I'm gonna have to order one. So we're just gonna put that aside. And there we have it. This is an iPhone 4S, how it looks from inside. Now the second step is to go ahead and take off the battery power, because if we want to do something, we don't want of course no electricity going through it, because that could injure us. So in order of being safe, we're gonna go ahead and remove these two screws, one here and one here, which I have actually done it before, and it's these two screws. I would probably recommend you guys, if you're doing this home on yourself, when you place the part outside, just put it somewhere safe and put the screws by hole so you actually know which one is right screw, which one is left screw, because that's gonna be crucial to put all them screws back together in the same position. So let's just take our pry tool and start prying this connection. This is actually battery connection, very easy and straightforward just to uncover it, yeah. And now what I do, I will always pry it from here. In here, on this one, on this screw hole, there will be this black thingy. I think that's some safety thingy. You see, I'm gonna put it back when I'm putting everything together. So I'm gonna show you, don't worry, I'm gonna show you where it's supposed to be. Now let's just go ahead, take the pry tool. I'm starting from here and just pry the battery carefully. It's on adhesive, so if it's new one and nobody ever come to it, there's adhesive right here and here, and there's L-shaped adhesive here, which holds the battery down. There's the battery, as I said, and as I said before, just put it aside, and if you can, just put the screws in the same order so you know which is which, and you can place it into the appropriate spot after that. Okie doke. So then what I'm usually doing, there's this adhesive here, as I said, and this is just, oh, it just come off actually. Alright, well, never mind. This phone, just to clarify, this has been fixed by me already 3 times, so it just consistently keep breaking. Anyway, this flip cover we had there, this flip cover we just took from it, we can normally place it here and it's gonna stick onto adhesive, so you're not gonna have it in the way while operating on the other aspects of the phone. Yeah, so now the second thing we're gonna do, we shall undo these 2 screws. Can you see that, guys? We shall undo these 2 screws. There's a one here, there's a one here, and there's a one here, which we're gonna do now. That's the next step, just to undo that seal which holds this flex cable, which is connected to the charging dock, charging port connector. Let me just adjust the camera. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and proceed with my Phillips head screwdriver. Unscrew these 2 screws. There is one, put it in the safe place. This is the other, put it in the safe place. And the seal is not really held by anything else than them screws. Yeah, so there you have it. Again, if you can, right hole, left hole. And there we have flex cable with the charging dock. So now we can just go ahead, take our pry tool and carefully, of course, undo the flex cable, sorry. It's fairly easy, there's just an adhesive here. So if you're gonna just, if it's not so very easy, don't worry, don't panic, just be very careful because there's adhesive here and here. This is adhesive slip, so then you can just bend it carefully over it, it stays like this, and that is disconnected, that's fine. In order to take this down, we're going to have to unscrew this, not unscrew, I'm sorry, just to disconnect this flex cable here, which is actually, here. and that is actually our speaker. Yes, sorry about it. I'm gonna just adjust the camera a little bit. Okay, so let's just undo this one quickly and painlessly. Oh. We're gonna have to be really careful when undoing this antenna, this speaker cable, because this connection here is very delicate. So when you're pushing it on, you just have to make sure you put it on right place and then very carefully push. Now, speaking of seals, we're gonna have to move away this big seal, which is actually protecting flex cables, and that is connection to camera, connection to screen, connection to volume ribbon, connection to microphone, connection to antenna, and that's pretty much it. This seal here is held by 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. So let's just go ahead and undo them. Again, if possible, just to put the screws at some safe spot, so when you're putting it actually back, you put them in the same place, because they're different length and different size. So it is necessary to put them into a same spot as before. Now let's just go ahead and pry this off. It's held by the hook, which is here, which is placed right here. This is the hook. It's placed right here. So we're just gonna have to be careful. It needs to come off these two these two teeth here, and then it's just coming off really easily. You see it's already loose, but I just have to be careful about this particular tooth in there. It's like a hook in there. So no rush, take your time. Yes, and this is what I have been talking about. Is it going to focus? Yes. For just a brief second. My record is not probably very good. Okay, this is the hook. It's just visible a little bit here, so it's just hooked on there like this. Again, be careful to place it on the same spot, and that's stripped down. There is one more seal which holds the antenna, which is this screw right here. So let's just go ahead and undo it. These all are Phillips screws. Yeah, so that's pretty straightforward, to be honest. And this is just held, this is just the seal which is holding. You can just be very careful. Oh, and it just plays there, the thing like this. It's just placed there. It's just the connection, it's just the earth connection for antenna. Now we're here and we can go ahead and disconnect these flex cables. There's flex cables, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this one needs to be connected. That's not a flex cable, that is the same system as here with the antenna, you know, the same system as this connection here. So we can go ahead, right ahead, and start unscrewing them. This one is a camera. Once you disconnect the camera, you can go right ahead and take it off. Camera goes off very easily. It holds this this bed thingy underneath it. It's not really very necessary, but I usually tend to put everything in its right place, so if I can, I'm just gonna place it right back onto a camera. It was like this. Yeah. That's the camera. We shall go ahead and disconnect this cable, which is leading here. That's for volume, and this button as well, this switch here, and volume, that's right here, and it goes here as well. Right underneath there is another cable, so that's necessary to disconnect this one as well. There is one right next to it, and now we can just proceed to disconnect the screen. This is digitizer, LCD digitizer, and this is actual LCD screen. So these two are the cables which are the main for us right now. And as I mentioned before, this cable right here, that disconnects, as I said, on the same principle as before. And that is actually it. That's all there is to disconnect. So now practically it's safe to remove logic board, which is right here. This is logic board. But first, in order to remove the logic board, we're gonna have to go ahead and remove the speaker, this part here, and that is fairly easy as well. It's just one screw right here. And one screw here, and underneath this screw there's this plastic bedding, this triangle thingy, and that's just in order to make this this area even and hold it nice and tight. So that's gonna go back. If it just flips away, don't worry, just find it. And now, as you see, the speakers comes easily right out. There is these sort of teeth looking things. They are hooked right here, and that's just sort of in this sort of locking. You slide it in and lock it down. Okay, dock. This is the charging dock. We don't need to touch any of these. So we can just go ahead and proceed with actually taking off the logic board, which is on 4 screws. There is one screw here. There is one screw here. Be careful about this one, because not, as I said, this phone's been fixed many times, but this screw have on itself the same thingy which is here, the same sort of sticker, and that's the sticker which actually signalize water damage of device. So it's normally white, and when the device is in water, anyhow, if the water gets to it on that sticker, it goes pink like this one right here. So that's for them to know, and for you to know how is the phone damaged. And there is usually the sticker here on this one. This screw is usually hidden by a sticker as well, just a black sticker. And that's 3 Phillips screws, yeah, so let's just go ahead and remove these. Let us just go ahead and remove those. 1, 2. Don't forget to place them on some safe place where you actually know where it is, so you can put them into same place. And now we're going to proceed. We are going to proceed to the flathead screwdriver, and we're gonna remove this screw in here, which is screw where you can put screw in it, and this screw right here. I think this one right up here is longer. This one is quite long. This one is quite long screw. And this one, I think it is shorter. Yes, this screw is shorter. Okay, and now we can just go ahead. Oh, and the thing I forgot to mention, I usually, to be honest, I forget to mention it, and I always realize it when I'm in this step. I don't know why, what is the reason exactly, why do I always forget? But it's the SIM card tray, We're going to have to start up, even before you open the phone, you're going to have to take out the SIM card tray, because that's actually what holding the motherboard down. So then you couldn't just remove it, and you would wonder why can you remove it? And it's the thing. So now we can go ahead, and we see the motherboard, it's loosening up, and we just have to be careful, take our time, and actually take it away. There you have it, that's iPhone 4S motherboard. No big deal, but it can make pretty nice things. So that's about it, yeah. And this is it. This is prepared phone for taking off the screen. So that's what we're actually doing. There is the screen, which we're going to go ahead and proceed now to remove. It's on 4 screws. 1 screw is here in this corner, 1 screw is here in this corner, 1 screw is here in this corner, and the last screw is here in this corner. And there is 6 additional screws, 1, 2, 3, that actually holds the screen in place, so it's not doing roundies. And there is an additional 3 screws, 1 here, and 1 right here. You can't probably see it now because it's behind this thing. This thing is a vibration unit. That's a vibrator. It's not held by any screws or anything else but adhesive. So you can just go ahead, put your prying tool underneath it, but be still very careful so you will not damage it. It goes like this, or if you prefer you can use a heat gun, or you can use a hairdryer, will do as well, because the adhesive is not very strong. And it works on the principle that these here, there are just two swivel thingies, two rope thingies, and right when you put the motherboard on it, the appropriate contact just touch this, and that's how it gets information to vibrate or no. So you can place it somewhere else if you want. I'm just putting it aside just in order, as I said, so we can get to this last screw. So let's just go ahead. Usually, this screw also is under the sticker, so you have to be careful on that. As I said, this phone has been fixed already, so sticker is there. This is the thing which is on this hole, and right when we're gonna put it back, I'll show you where is it supposed to be. These screws are cooperating with me. They are a bit loosened because I'm never putting anything into max force, only into force necessary to fix it, because if you do it on the max, then you might just as well have some difficulties undoing it next time, or other people. And this one, you know, we don't actually have to move anything of these away, but it's just a little bit tricky to get into this screw, so I suppose you're gonna develop some strategy. My hands are a little bit sweaty now. I'm just gonna have to use a cloth right now to catch the screwdriver and unscrew that screw. Okay, there I have it. There's the screw right here. Okay, these are the 4 corner screws, and now let's proceed to undo these 6 screws right here. The thing I want to mention before I proceed, actually go ahead, we don't have to undo these screws because they are only holding some sort of bracket which just slides in. So there's the screw here, and this is the bracket, and it just slides in like this, and then you secure it with the screw right here. So we can just loosen them, and that will save some time. So I'm gonna go back to you guys when I will loosen these screws. Alright, welcome back, and we just finished loosening these 6 screws right here, and that's it. That's all we need to do in order to get rid of this screen. So what we're gonna do with the screen actually is that we're gonna take a prying tool, or I'm gonna start with this one actually, and we can just go ahead and pry it off. I'm gonna start from the right bottom corner because the cables we need to be careful about, they are on the top, so it's just loosening up a little bit. Be careful if the glass is shattered or anything, don't Don't be too fast or anything, don't cut yourself, and it just goes fairly easily right off. And we can see these two cables right here, these two, they just slide right off that hole through the middle housing, so we just need to be careful actually not to damage them. Okay, and that's it. This is the old screen. Quite useless for us. Only thing you can get from it, it's the button, which is holding on it with this adhesive stripe. This one has been damaged and there's a hole in here, so the dust actually got into it, but it actually looks like this. See, there's this adhesive, and that's it. You just stick it in. If you need it, stick it on the other one, and that's it. Okay, so this is it. There we have it. This is the screen taken out of it. Let's proceed now, and let's just make sure this here all have to be clean, no adhesive and no glass pieces or no anything. Yeah, so just make sure this all assembly is clean, and we can go right ahead and put the new screen in. So as I said, I have the screen right here, so I'm just gonna go ahead, put these cables into this biggest middle hole. And once they're in, I'm just gonna have to be really careful not to damage anything. And these, as I said before, these are the sliders we're gonna go underneath them screws. They just loosen up. You can just like slightly help yourself if you need. And check that them tooth need to be all behind the screws. And it should be fairly easy to get it on. Okay, so there we have it. It's in, and it just slides in, and that's it. That's just it. So what we're going to actually do right now is to tighten them 6 screws so it's holding the screen in the middles, and then we can just do the corners. I'm gonna do them cross now because I don't want the screen to be wobbly or anything like that. So I'm just going to go ahead